Hello everyone. Today I'm going to give a seminar on first chapter, that is Introduction to Cloud Computing. Firstly, we'll understand what does cloud computing means. Cloud computing is a technology that uses the internet for storing and managing data on remote servers and then access that data via the internet. Cloud computing is also a technological advancement that focuses on the way we design computing systems, develop applications, and leverage existing services for building software. It is based on the concept of dynamic provision, which is applied not only to services but also to compute capability, storage, networking, and information technology infrastructure in general. Resources are made available through the internet and offered on a pay-per-use basis from cloud computing vendors. Today, anyone with a credit card can subscribe to cloud services and deploy and configure servers for an application in hours, growing and shrinking the infrastructure, serving its application according to the demand, and paying only for the time these resources have been used. Cloud computing allows anyone with a credit card to provision virtual hardware, runtime environments, and services. These are used for as long as needed with no upfront commitments required. The entire stack of a computing system is transformed into a collection of utilities which can be provisioned and composed together to deploy systems in hours rather than days and with virtually no maintenance cost. In most of the cases, the discovery of services is mostly done by human intervention. A person or a team of people looks over the internet to identify offerings that meet his or her needs. We imagine that in the near future, it will be possible to find the solution that matches our needs by simply entering our request in a global digital market that trades cloud computing services. Besides being an extremely flexible environment for building new systems and applications, cloud computing also provides an opportunity for integrating additional capacity or new features into existing systems. The use of dynamically provisioned IT resources constitutes a more attractive opportunity than buying additional infrastructure and software, the sizing of which can be difficult to estimate and the needs of which are limited in time. This is one of the most important advantages of cloud computing, which has made it a very popular phenomenon. The existing of such a market will enable the automation of discovery process and its integration into existing software system, thus allowing users to transparently leverage cloud resources in their applications and systems. The existence of a global platform for trading cloud services will also help service providers become more visible and therefore potentially increase their revenue. A global cloud market also reduces the barriers between service consumers and providers. We can define three criteria to discriminate whether a service is delivered in the cloud computing style or not. The service is accessible via a web browser or a web service application programming interface, that is a API. Second, zero capital expenditure is necessary to get started. Third, you pay only for what you use as you use it. Next, cloud reference model. A fundamental characteristic of cloud computing is the capability to deliver on demand a variety of IT services that are quite diverse from each other. This variety creates different perceptions of what cloud computing is among users. Despite this lack of uniformity, it's possible to classify cloud computing service offerings into three major categories, that is, Infrastructure as a Service (IaaS), Platform as a Service (PaaS), and Software as a Service (SaaS). These categories are related to each other in several ways. The cloud computing model organizes the wide range of cloud computing services into a layered view that walks the computing stack from bottom to top. At the base of the stack, infrastructure as a service solutions deliver infrastructure on demand in the form of virtual hardware, storage, and networking. Virtual hardware is utilized to provide compute on demand in the form of virtual machine instance. These are created at users' request on the provider's infrastructure, and users are given tools and interfaces to configure the software stack installed in the virtual machine. Next, platform as a service solutions are the next step in the stack. They deliver scalable and elastic runtime environment on demand and host the execution of applications. These services are backed by a core middleware platform that is responsible for creating the abstract environment where applications are deployed and executed. At the top of the stack, that is, software as a service solutions provide applications and services on demand. Most of the common functionalities of desktop application such as office automation, document management, photo editing, and customer relationship management, that is CRM software, are replicated on the provider's infrastructure and made more scalable and accessible through a browser on demand. These applications are shared across multiple users whose interaction is isolated from the other users. The SaaS layer is also the area of social networking websites which leverage cloud-based infrastructures to sustain the cloud generated by their popularity. Next, the characteristics of cloud computing. Cloud computing has some interesting characteristics that bring benefits to both cloud service consumers and also to cloud service providers. So some of them are: the most evident benefit from the use of cloud computing systems and technology is the increased economical return due to the reduced maintenance cost and operational cost related to the IT software and infrastructure. Second, this is mainly because IT assets, namely software and infrastructure, are turned into utility costs which are paid for as long as they are used, not paid for upfront. Thirdly, increased agility in defining and structuring software system is another significant benefit of cloud computing. Since organizations rent IT services, they can more dynamically and flexibly compose their software systems without being constrained by capital cost for IT assets. Next, there is a reduced need for capacity planning since cloud computing allows organizations to react to unplanned surge in demand quite rapidly. By leveraging the potentially huge capacity of cloud computing, organizations can extend their IT capability more easily. Scalability can be leveraged across the entire computing stack. Infrastructure providers offer simple methods to provision customized hardware and integrate it into existing systems. Platform as a service providers offer runtime environment and programming models that are designed to scale applications, whereas software as a service offers can be elastically sized on demand without requiring users to provision hardware or to program application for scalability. Next, end users can benefit from cloud computing by having their data and the capability of operating on it always available from anywhere at any time and through multiple devices. Information and services stored in the cloud are exposed to users by web-based interfaces that make them accessible from portable devices as well as desktops at home. Finally, we'll see what are the challenges in the cloud computing. Firstly, security and privacy of information is the biggest challenge to cloud computing. Security and privacy issues can be overcome by employing encryption, security hardware, and security application. Second is interoperability. It means that application on one platform should be able to incorporate services from the other platforms. It is made possible via web services, but developing such web services is a very complex thing. Third is portability. Portability is one of the other challenges to cloud computing, where applications should be easily migrated from one cloud provider to another. There must not be vendor lock-in. However, it's not yet that made possible because each of the cloud provider use different standard languages for their platform. Next comes computing performance. Data-intensive application on cloud requires high network bandwidth, which results in high cost. Low bandwidth does not meet the desired computing performance of cloud applications. Next, one of the biggest challenges is reliability and availability. It's necessary for the cloud system to be reliable and robust because most of the businesses are now becoming dependent on services provided by third party.